This My Thoughts Monday is brought to you by Kinetic Performance, the makers of the Rolls-Royce of barbell monitoring technology, the GymAware. Guys, in season training, we rock the GymAware all the time for quite a few reasons. The first, of course, is just that, the ding. Every time the athlete hears that, they know that they're hitting exactly what we need from them at that moment. And when they don't hear it, it brings out that extra little bit of competitiveness within themselves. On top of that, that awesome ding ends out bringing together the athletes as well, pushing each other and getting each other to be able to hit numbers that they probably wouldn't hit at that portion of the year. And finally, of course, that ding helps us monitor, manipulate, and keep track of volumes and intensities so we can best dose our athletes during the season at the right time with the right amount. Guys, hop over to kinetic.com.au and check out what Evan and the team down there have, because this is absolutely a sensational product that's changed the way that we've trained our athletes. This edition of My Thoughts Monday is brought to you by Valid Performance, the team behind the Nordboard, Force Decks, the Groin Bar, and Human Track. Guys, the most important ability for all of our athletes is availability, and that's the absolute goal of Valid Performance, is to provide solutions to performance professionals so that we can get the right information to make the right decision at the right time for the betterment of the athletes that we get to work with. To do this, guys, they have a wide range of validated products that focus on usability, and having being founded by the School of Exercise and Nutrition Sciences at the Queensland University of Technology, they're extremely evidence-based and they're beyond transparent. I can tell you that our time using the Nordboard and being involved with Force Decks, we have been introduced to so many amazing people that have truly helped us become better coaches, have a better understanding, not just of the technology, but also what we're doing with our athletes. So make sure you hop over to valperformance.com today to make sure you check out what they got. It's going to make you better and to do better by your athletes. Hey everybody, if you enjoy the podcast and the content that it provides, make sure you hop over and check out the all-new Strength Coach Network. The Strength Coach Network is the combination of the CVA SPS community and the Rugby Strength Coach community, bringing you what is sure to be the internet's leading resource for continuing education for strength and conditioning professionals. Combining these two resources has allowed us to bring some of the best content from some of the best minds in the world together for your one-stop shop to better improve the continuing education for not just yourself, but your entire staff. Bringing together all of the lectures from the Rugby Strength Coach community, along with the lectures exclusively done for the Central Virginia Sport Performance community, and all the lectures performed at the Central Virginia Sport Performance Seminar, make this an absolute must for performance coaches around the world. The world-class lectures at the Strength Coach Network are not all that you'll see as well. The discussion in the forums and the support and the career guidance from some of the top practitioners in the world, from people all over the world, makes this an absolute must and a great place for you to network, learn, and grow as a performance professional. So hop on over to strengthcoachnetwork.com and use the code CVASPS, that's CVASPS, to get your 48-hour trial for only $1. We're sure you're going to find great value in the Strength Coach Network and are really excited to have you involved. So hop on over to strengthcoachnetwork.com and use the code CVASPS to check it out today.
What's up, guys? Chris Hayes here, sitting in for this edition of My Thoughts Monday. I want to thank Jay for allowing me to join the podcast again. I think it was last at the University of Louisville in a performance fellow professional intern role there when I last joined the pod. And since then, had a great opportunity with the Dodgers in the minor league system at the spring training facility in Glendale, Arizona. Had a fantastic experience with that staff and that organization, and we'll definitely miss a lot of people, from the staff to the athletes. But recently, about a month ago, took a new role here, and just an opportunity that I couldn't turn down. And looking forward into my career was really the direction that I had realized, kind of known, but realized even more that I wanted to go, and that's here at Coppin State University in Baltimore, Maryland, in a director of basketball performance role with the men's and women's teams. And really very fortunate to be here, and kind of just an opportunity that came up by chance due to some circumstances. But very excited to be here, and really appropriate timing as I hit Jay and told him I would love to to try to get back on here as we actually prepare to play at Richmond on Wednesday this week with the guys. So very excited to get out there and see him. Actually just enjoyed a good IPA from Stone Brewer, who is based out of Richmond. The Fear movie Lions. It's a good one. Hopefully you guys don't judge me for enjoying a beer at the end of the day, but definitely got the creative juices flowing. So what I wanted to talk about is something I had an idea on before that I never quite finished or fulfilled. But being in this role now and having a little bit of time here to think about things and how things have progressed for me in my career thus far, I think comes together well with this idea I had before, which is the idea of GPP to SPP for the strength and conditioning coach, because we talk about it all the time, the importance of generalization as opposed to specialization for athletes, especially at a younger age, but even through high school and maybe up to the college ranks, is continuing to play 2 or 3 or even more sports to widen that foundation and that base before we build depth and specialization in one area and one set of movements and one type of surface and so on and so on. And I think our education and our knowledge and support for that is growing, but we don't talk about it a ton for the coaches, right? And I think that's important as well. And kind of the question that is rhetorical or there is no answer for, there's certainly no black and white answer for, is at what point as a coach, strength and conditioning coach or otherwise, do you have enough experience in the field as a whole to be able to specialize, with 1 or 2 teams, or to specialize in a specific area, whether it be, strength, power, speed, speed and agility, conditioning, ESD, whatever it may be. Certainly there is no black and white answer. There's no set number of hours. Maybe you can try to check the 10,000 hours box, but certainly that's not perfect. So I think the lesson that I've learned and that I want to share with any of the young coaches listening to this, as I've been able to kind of experience this firsthand recently, is you don't want to rush. You don't need to rush to the top. And that's a metaphorical top. There is no top of the field, but all I mean by that is, the director role or the one sport only role where I'm fortunate to be in the position I am, at least for right now, is, I'm kind of my own boss. The only people I answer to are our men's and women's basketball staffs. And it's really, I'm lucky in that it's a very collaborative thing, and I wouldn't really call them my bosses, so to speak, even though technically they are. But what I'm getting at is enjoy the time you have as an intern, as a GA, as an assistant, whatever it may be. Enjoy that time, cherish it, and make the most of it truly, because that time that you have with people above you, but just people around you to mentor you and help mold you and guide you, that time is so valuable to prepare you for when the time comes for the director, the leader type role, where now you might oversee a whole staff, you might be by yourself, you might be on an island, whatever it may be. I'm sitting here at the age of 25, and I may never work for a strength and conditioning coach again. Who knows? Hopefully I will, but I could be in a director role where I oversee things for the rest of my career. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? But the point is, at such a young age, you want to be ready to be a leader, but you want to get as much experience as possible. And I know I think I always felt that way. I don't think I was ever in a rush to advance to the next position. I know certainly in the intern and GA type roles, you are always looking forward because, they're terminal positions and the pay certainly isn't great. And it's a grind and long days, etc. We all know that. But really, I just want to emphasize to the young coaches the perspective that I have now. And I'm very grateful and very happy to be in the position I am and where I am today. But I cherish the time that I had now even more. My 2 years at GW under Matt Johnson, Brandy Walker, and that staff, and the time I had at Louisville under Tina Murray and that staff, and then the time I had this past year in Arizona with LA under Brian Stoneberg and that staff. So All that time now I cherish even more, knowing that, that may be the last. Those types of experiences for me may be done, at least in that type of role and capacity. So, um, I encourage you guys just to continue to, for the younger coaches listening, continue to embrace the grind, so to speak. Enjoy the time and the opportunity that you have in the type of role that you're in, that I was in, just very recently, these past few years. And don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush to get to the top, because all that experience you get around training when you're truly just in the trenches is so valuable, because when you get to, an oversight type role, I think today is a perfect example to share. Like, I spent probably, a total of, I don't count anymore, but it was a 12 plus hour day, and about 4 to 5 of those hours were just in the office at my desk, and 0 minutes were spent creating, designing, or implementing a training program. All of my time in the office today was taking care of meals for the next week, answering some emails with some people I'm talking to about supplements and catering and everything on the nutritional front, handling some of the budgetary stuff and paperwork stuff for that, and then also updating our workload tracker, which is training related, but it's not certainly training or programming itself. But updating our workload tracker, I had gotten a little behind with that, so it took some time to dial in on that. But the point is, when you get to a role where you're so dialed in on so many different facets of performance outside of just the traditional strength and conditioning, I think you really need all those hours, hundreds of hours of training in the trenches with various teams, with various coaches, various backgrounds, demographics, etc. The more you can be exposed to, and the more training and program design and periodization you can see at a young age and a young point in your career, the better that will prepare you to be able to kind of piece things together on the fly. Because I'll be honest, right now, especially in season where basketball is the focus, the sport is the focus, training is, and I don't want anyone to get me wrong when I say this, but training is kind of the easy part. You're doing simple stuff. You got your template. You're kind of plugging and chugging based on where you are in the week, how many games you have, what the travel schedule is, right? Where, I'm not doing any type of real elaborate periodization or programming schemes right now. I'm just keeping it simple and trying to keep our guys and girls healthy, number one, and then number two, hopefully making them a little bit better and maintaining and building upon everything that was built in the off season. But that the training part kind of becomes the easier part, especially in season, when there's so many other different things to manage. So that's definitely some perspective that I've gained just in the first 4 weeks of being in this position. And like I said, I'm very grateful to be here. I love interacting and collaborating with our staffs. Both staffs are very dialed in and appreciative of what I can bring to the table, what a performance coach can bring to the table, and trying to really establish slowly but surely a quote-unquote high-performance model here with nutrition and recovery and all those things. It's really been fantastic, and it's really a role that I think anyone would be excited and grateful and fortunate to be in. But just wanted to share that with you guys today. I hope that makes sense. So at the end of the day, we all have goals and dreams and aspirations, and we should all work our butts off and strive as hard as we can to get there as fast as we can. But don't rush, the process. Embrace the process, embrace the grind, trust the process. All those things, all those cliches that are out there, they are true to a degree. So I encourage you guys, especially the young coaches out there, to really just lock in, to be where your feet are, as we like to say, and to do the best that you can where you are. Get as much experience with training as possible, and when the right opportunity comes, you'll know it's the right one, and you'll be ready. All right, so thank you guys. I hope you took something from that, and thank you again to Jay and CVAPS, just as an organization, everything he and they are doing with the products and content that they put out. We really appreciate it, man. So hope everyone has a great day, great week, and take care.